Oh good, doing it that way actually worked. How's it going, Celery? Another excuse not to do my math. Anything but school, right? That's not the best approach. I'm doing alright, I'm doing alright. Look what I did. I did a thing. I'm trying out a background cutouter thing. I think I need to turn up that mask again, though. Or down, as it were. Kind of liked it at -2 there. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, it works. It works pretty well for being like just like an AI thing, because I can't do actual math. Uh, the gray screen doesn't really work. There's a reason we use green screens and not gray screens. It doesn't really work. So it's like an AI thing that sort of segments the background. Doesn't look very good here, but it actually does work all right in the gameplay area when I'm a little bit smaller. It kind of works all right over here. I just wanted to try it out for a stream. Honestly, you can even turn it off. It's not even that hard, right? I can just go into filters and just go boop, and it's off. Looks fucking horrible? Okay, bet. Fuck you too, asshole. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go over to the screen capture, get the music up and running. And let's get it. Oh, what the f... Why are we... What is this about? Oh yeah, also I need to do this real quick. Move you back out of the way. There we go. Hopeless. Okay, what do we have? I don't want to get the red and white, like, messing with me. I'll just do my best not to look at it. Uh, basket and blanket and picnic. I mean, no, this feels like they're kind of baiting me with that. Snap. Snap, cinch. Okay. Something can be very easy if it's a breeze or a cinch or a picnic or a snap. Just like quickly. That's not exactly it, but no, this could be it. Yeah, okay. Oh, seven's breaky. Wait, our ads are over, actually. Yeah, it's not aimed at me here. What's good? What's up with the red squares? They were in like a picnic formation, and I guess a lot of these have to do with picnics. How can you tell me how I can bypass the lock screen of a Samsung? Hmm. No, I can't fish stick, and I don't think I'm going to either. What are you annoyed by, Breaky? Obscure and mask and hide are clearly all together, and probably blanket with that, yeah? It's Christmas, y'all? Oh yeah, for sure. The anime website that I use doesn't have the second season of Haikyuu. Well, I guess you gotta go find a different anime website for just one season of Haikyuu. You will document the process in my Discord? Okay, well, we'll see how long you're timed out for. Oh, you watch the dub of stuff. That's gonna be, you know what? Wouldn't it be crazy if Haikyuu just like specifically the second season didn't have a dub? Yep, Rex. That is my biggest issue with Grand Live is just like, oh, where's the events? Not here. Baseball, basketball, pickleball, football. Yeah. Coco, Ants and Soul? What is this about? Homophones of CGI animated films? Ants. Coco. I know Coco. Rio. I know Rio and Soul. What's the homophone though? How's it originally spelled? Rex. Oh, it's spelled with a Z. Oh, fuck off with that one. All right. Let's go with a little bit of Dave. A little bit of Dave. I don't even remember what a homophone is. Something that's spelled differently but sounds the same. So Seoul, the city in South Korea, and Seoul, like inside a person, are homophones. They're spelled different. They sound the same. Uh, Dave the Diver. Yes, that's correct. This looks just like Dave the Diver in the game, right? You remember. Solo male. Solo male pop. Solo male something. Solo male mid 20 teens. Top 300 popularity. DJ, how many people is peak multiplayer? However many we want. I can always download a mod that lets however many people join, if I so choose. I'd be on my. Let me know if you find it. Hey, 5 stream streak. Very nice, Mr. Celery. Huge. Yes, so on Saturday we'll be playing Peak. The 1.0 update came out. There's a big new biome and stuff going on, and uh if you guys want to join, you feel free to. I know there's a couple people who have been interested. One such fish stick, at the very least, I know of. Is that the climbing game that started the climbing game thing? Yes. Name two, you, solar. Boom. Two. I'm sure if he has time, Jaeger will join too. uh, huh. Hasn't Solar been here since like the ancient times? More or less. He's been around since. I mean, yeah, up there for sure. What genre? Just not hip hop. That game just looks like something that would end up with me punching my monitor. It's not that bad. Get good. Skill diff. Around the 10th stream he did. Damn, has it been that long? You were really here for that long ago? Holy. I figured it was in the first month or two. I didn't realize it was that early. I low-key just come and go. I'll disappear for like 3 months. I have noticed that. Morgan Wallen. That's not a bad guess. Not quite that popular. Look, I excel in Souls games, but anything that's difficult and doesn't have a dodge roll is an issue. Hopefully until 24-hour stream. Hey, that should be next Friday or Saturday, so I do like DJ's content. I appreciate that, Solar. As much as you put me on blast for things, you are still around, aren't you? Luke Bryant. Uh, is he recent enough? Why does Luke Bryant feel like he'd be like yeah, a little older, a little older. It is country though. It is country. So like Luke Bryant is in the right ballpark, but it's not Morgan Wallen. Ugh, I don't know country guys. Chris Stapleton, sure. I believe you. Yep, Chris Stapleton. Never heard of this motherfucker. Genuinely. He looks exactly like you would expect him to look, but I choose to believe you because I don't know any better. He has a cool voice. Hell yeah. Hold on. Blank, blank, within blank in parentheses, blank of blank blank, that blank, the blank of a blank, 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 and blank. Oh, okay. This feels snipeable. There are blank blank types of blank, or kinds, or it could be blank, but it could also be blank. Blank blank are the blank of blank that blank a blank's blank. The blank of blank's blank? The blank blank. It's probably blank. Probably blank. The first use of the blank italicized 8-letter blank to blank blank blank. I'm not getting vibes here yet. There's this 1-2 here. Do you think Hatsune Miku has ever smoked weed? I think the voice behind Hatsune Miku has probably smoked weed, yes. Type? Aha, there are indeed types. Uh, I'm gonna guess 2 is the answer. 2 into 2. It's those kinds of questions that keeps Solar off my shit list, though. Because he toes the line sometimes. It's those kinds of thought-provoking questions that this stream needs. I'm gonna go with 2. Yes. 2 blank types. Nice, Breaky, nice. My quest is over. Into 2, what is this? What is this 4-letter word? It's not subtypes. It's not like variants. It's 4-letter word. 2 blank types. 2. Hmm. Blank, blank of blank blank. That blank the blank of a blank. Okay. What is going on down here? Also, remove an element. Goodbye. Oh, wow, that's like the end of the article. Okay. You got like one source. All right, let's go with Tool. Oh, there's actually 2 instances of Tool. Although they're way the fuck down here. Definitely needs ad block. If you aren't browsing the ad block internet with ad block like 24/7, what are you doing? Country? Sure. There's a couple mentions of countries. In some countries. Math? Sure. I haven't really seen any particular math mentioned, but there are mentions a little bit of algorithms. DJ, did I tell you I beat Minecraft for the first time? No, you had told me that you were working on beating Minecraft, but I didn't realize you actually had. Congratulations. Did you just go and blast the Ender Dragon? Artificial intelligence? That doesn't seem like it fits here. The first use of the word blank to describe blank blank is blank. Yeah, it took me like 20 minutes because I died once. That's still not too bad though. Honestly, finding the stronghold is probably the most annoying part of the whole process. Hatsune Miku strikes me as a ketamine user. What makes you say that? Is it the high-pitched voice? Computer? Could be. Computer is mentioned. Blank, blank of computer blank. That blank, the blank of a computer? Huh? Okay, okay, yeah. Firmware, software, hardware, one of those. Not firmware. Feel like I'd go software there then. Look, he took me like 20 minutes to find the portal room. He's like, just seems like just think of it this way. Speedrunners could have won the game 4 times in the time it took you to find the portal room because they're ridiculous. Just seems like a person who, after a long day of singing, would chill down with some ketamine. Yeah, Mr. Krabs does the ketamine because there's actually a game called Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine and dies. Miku vapes? Miku can't vape, she's a singer. Damage the lungs. I would assume Mr. Krabs would be on uppers. He's got enough going on. Okay, what's going on here? There's apples on a tree, guys. I can see apples on a tree, or I think those are apples. Those could also be like cherry tomatoes or something, I guess. I don't know. You kind of just assume they're apples, though. Something by Nintendo. Okie dokie. Maybe. Could be. Could also be an indie game. Why does that look like a feet and a sword or something? I don't know. Let's go with something I farm on Stardew or like apples Yoshi eats. Dragon Quest? Sure, let's try a Dragon Quest. I don't mind a Yoshi either. I don't know which Dragon Quest. I'm gonna go with 5. Nope, not Dragon Quest. There's definitely farming. This is not, I don't think this is Stardew Valley though. This doesn't really look like Stardew Valley. Maybe it is. I don't know that I've ever seen this art style for Stardew Valley though. Monster Rancher. Harvest Moon. Okay, let's try a Harvest Moon real quick. Okay, not Harvest Moon. I'm gonna go with that thing there. I'm gonna go with the Monster Rancher. Oh, we're starting to get lettering here. There's like an RE in here. Is that what that is? RE or RRP or something like that? RE. But there's so many RE words. Rusty's Rusty's retirement? Huh. I haven't heard of Rusty's retirement. 2024. Maybe that's why it's too recent. Looks like a rather charming game. Indie game. That explains it. Okay, there's a lot happening in this image. Probably from the wave of chill games. Yeah, 2024. We're looking at like, what kind of armor these fuckos wearing? It's like a Prince of Persia game or something. There's a lot of there's war going on. Yeah, it could be a God of War easily. Although I don't know how much God of War involved beating up just random dudes on a battlefield, but it very well could be a God of War. I didn't play the God of War games, so. God of War 2. It is God of War 2. God damn it. I didn't realize he was fighting like 80,000 dudes. Who are these guys? Video unavailable. Easy get though. Oh, hey. You got quite the boots there, buddy. What you doing with those dank ass boots? This is Zarya or Zarya from Overwatch. Yeah, I mean I could see it. I don't think I have to like stretch very far to trust you on that. It does fit the color scheme. I played an ungodly amount of Overwatch. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that immediately. Maybe would have gotten it on like the second guess or something. What was two? Yeah, okay. I feel like I could have gotten that on the second one. Maybe would have taken till the third. And then Rivals came out. Is that what you do now? Stamina, Old Gods, Doom Meter, Lovecraft inspired. Ah, so you like your hero shooters, do you? Yeah. Likes his hero shooters, see? Ultra Kill? There's no. Wait, Ultra Kill doesn't have a Doom meter, does it? It's not called the Doom meter. Bloodborne? Bloodborne have a Doom meter. Among Us Trust. Not Bloodborne. Sanity Loss, Roguelite RPG, Cosmic Horror, and Event Cards. Sanity Loss, Cosmic Horror, Roguelite RPG. Yeah, it can't be not gonna be Escape the Backgrounds with Roguelite RPG. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, that could be it. That could be it. Uh Event Cards is interesting to me. It makes me feel card game based. I'm trying to imagine this in my head. Event Cards. Is this Cult of the Lamb? Did that have event cards? I could see it being Cult of the Lamb. Nope, not Cult of the Lamb. Toy Story Goes to Hell. Toy Story Goes to Hell 2. To Hell to Return. Does Sinking City have any of this? I haven't heard Sinking City. It is a Japanese horror game. Forbidden Spells and Cursed Objects and Urban Legends. I don't suppose there was a Junji Ito game. No, there was not a Junji Ito. Cursed Objects, Forbidden Spells, Urban Legends, Spirit Camera. Is that an actual guess? I'm not seeing Spirit Camera on the list, unfortunately. Alas. Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Nope. Multiple endings. School mysteries. Limited inventory and randomized events. Oh, is this? No, that wasn't a roguelite RPG. I was just thinking of some of the horror games that are Japanese. Omori? Is Omori, does that have a Doom meter? I didn't remember Omori being quite that crazy. Where you photograph ghosts while playing as a Japanese schoolgirl? I don't know. I refunded Omori before I played it. Okay. I'm trying to think of oh, what the fuck is that? It's got a super morbid name too. Onimushu? Is that a did you like where do you know that game from? Um I've never heard of that. I was thinking Corpse Party, but that's not I don't think that's an art a roguelite. Because that one was set in a school, it was Japanese, but I don't think Corpse Party. Wow, it doesn't even make the list, which is crazy because that one's kind of a cult classic. I ate a salad and rewarded myself with a slice of pizza. Hey, as long as you're filling yourself up with at least part healthy stuff, like you're eating less bad stuff if you eat some healthy stuff. You know what I mean? I was gonna say Fear and Hunger, but I saw the Japanese. Is Fear and Hunger not Japanese? I could see it being Fear and Hunger, honestly, but also, how's it going, Noah? Mm, it's not okay. Yeah, I guess there's not school mysteries in Fear and Hunger. This man cheats whenever he can't get something immediately. Grr. It's a black and white game from 2023. Hmm. I'm fine. How are you? I'm doing well. Pokemon Orange, for sure. What is I don't yeah, I don't know this one. Let me see if I can skip and get some Junji Ito inspired. See? I knew it. Something like that. Chiptune soundtrack, no idea. Hospital exploration, multiple protagonists. Yeah, you've lost me here. Uh this does seem like the kind of game that's kind of in my ballpark. Mystery investigation, monochrome pixel art, retro computer interface. Misao. Misao? No. Misa. No. I don't see it on here, unfortunately. Sonic and Garfield collection for Windows 95? Yeah, probably. World? It has World in it? Which of these World games? Uh, wow, Wordle makes the list. Really? Wordle makes the list and Corpse Party doesn't? Alright. Pal World. I know this game. Wario World? World of Warcraft. I know that. World of Horror? That seems a little on the nose, but alright. That is a little bit on the nose for sure. Wow, that is very creepy. I still think it's Among Us. World of Horror. That is couldn't come up with a better name. It's corny like that in the Japanese too. That's an accurate translation. Uh, let's see. A game about digging a hole. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So we're looking at first person plus something else. We got single player. It's before 2020. It's not survival. It has some amount of indie or adventure, but it is not a PC game, which makes me think it's probably not indie if it's not a PC game. So it's probably an adventure game. Probably an adventure game from before 2020. Beyond that, single player. Could be literally anything still. Solar has decided he wants to play the entirety of his discography. How's it going, Luna? How you doing today? First person, third person, first person plus something else. First person plus third person, I feel like, is the most likely. Star Fox Adventures. Sure. It did come out on GameCube, and somehow you got the year right. I really like Iris. I can tell. I know that. It is a Nintendo, among other things, publisher, I would assume. I find it interesting that I got first person here and third person here, and they're telling me that that is, as a summary, the full thing, even though I never confirmed that it's like both of them at the same time, and not just like a third one as well. You know what I mean? They're like, no, that's the only two. Interesting. GameCube Adventure, probably RPG. Is this like a Pokemon game? Probably not. I don't think GameCube if it was on GameCube, could it have been like Pokemon Stadium? But I feel like that wasn't 2002. Nintendo and someone else's devs. Well, this is yellow. It could be Nintendo as the publisher and the developer, and that could be green. Last peak with viewers was in 1999. Dude, I remember that stream. I was 2 at the time. Uh, Coliseum, yeah. Uh, Pokemon Coliseum. Nope. Oh, that one only came out on GameCube. Yeah, it has first person parts. Yeah, I guess Pokemon Coliseum had isometric. We know it's now not Pokemon. I guess see you around, Celery. Lock in, do your math. Apologize for distracting you. Red Faction 2. Was Red Faction 2? Surely Red Faction 2 also came out on PC. WarioWare? Maybe? In-house engine graphics as well. Okay. Something turned green? Something turned green? Is it Nintendo then? Almost certainly. Unless Genius Sonority and Rare collaborated as devs on a game and left out Nintendo. It's almost certainly Nintendo as the publisher. Metroid Prime. Possibly? Was Metroid Prime that didn't have multiplayer? Maybe I'm misremembering. Yes, it is Metroid Prime. I was thinking of the one that came out on 3DS afterwards. Beautiful Joe honestly wouldn't have been a bad guess either. Metroid Prime. Okay, let's get our great Ace Attorney Chronicles up and running. And music off. Okay, audio should be working just fine. It's the same thing as yesterday. I've played almost all the Metroid games. Damn, I haven't owned very many Nintendo consoles in my life, so I'm not even certain that I've played a Metroid game outside of playing it at someone else's house. James Bond. Was James Bond Nintendo? I mean, like, yeah, Nightfire was around then, right? Could have been Nightfire, possibly, maybe, but... Nightfire... A Classic is what that is. Alright, 9th of January, SS Budia. First class cabin passageway. That's us. We're in the first class cabin. Sure, we're being accused of murder, but at least we're doing it in style. I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that. I wish we'd managed to find some clue as to what that speckled band might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. Yeah, I think GoldenEye is considered more of a classic because it was sort of like... I wouldn't say revolutionary, but it was kind of revolutionary. I think Nightfire personally was the better of the two games, but, you know, it was the next one. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door. Mr. Stroganov. He's clearly glaring at us as if to say, don't even think about it. Never heard of Nightfire? I mean, it played very similar. Oh, wait a minute. What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? Oh, yes. He's completely disappeared. When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists. Alrighty, let's go see what's up with the mousetrap that I never got to examine before. What's going on down here? Ah, a trap for catching mice. Is it just me, or is that like the biggest, like, thing of cheese ever? Also, it's going to be relevant because the snake found the mouse, and so the mousetrap didn't go off because the snake already killed the mouse, or some shit like that. It'll be relevant. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Cheese? Wonder what that tastes like. Don't do it. You can't eat it, Naruto. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... I suppose you're right. Bro is about to fall for the mouse trap. How do mice ever fall for this shit? And then this guy shows up. Nightfire had car and helicopter missions. That shit was peak. True. I do remember some of those chase missions. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Cosmo's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. That seemed a little condescending. Alright. I'm gonna guess I can't go over there. I know if I click on this, he'll get mad at me or something. I'm sure. Excuse me, good sir. I really wish we'd had a chance to look around in Miss Pavlova's cabin. Stroganov. What? Why you look like that? You want something? Hmm? Maybe. You want me to throw you out again, hmm? Oh, no, definitely not that. Next time I have to throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter. Understand? Understand. Got it. It'd be cool if there were a bad ending where I just keep poking him a few times and he's like, alright, I'm actually gonna throw you in the water this time, and then you die. I don't think you'll ever forget your face, Naruhodo-san. Bro's name is Stroganov. Guess we'll go back in here. Yep, that's our cabin. Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-san's. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. Anyway, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga has managed to uncover any new clues. Yes, we should probably find him and ask. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Where is he? Is he hanging from the ceiling? Maybe we could go out here. That door leads to the second class area. Yeah. It's locked. I can't open it. No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape. She gave me a very stern look when she said that. Where's the music, by the way, bro? It's been a while with no music. I didn't really want to talk to you. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay, buddy. I don't need to. That's fine. I didn't really. Nope, I don't. Nope. What else is there to look at in here? Do a little bit of this, do a little bit of this. Nope. Nope, nope. Tell you what, we'll go back. We'll do the little move action here. We'll move over here. Ah, yes. You seem to have moved. Looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes, on that subject. I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed. Also, why is there, like, clipping going on back here? Do you guys see that there? You'd think this was, like, a static background or something. I guess not. What do you mean, unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh, yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us, you never know. I would love to do that. How do you propose I do such a thing? Okay. We've examined all this random stuff. Rules of passage? I noticed that it wasn't, like, checked off for some reason. I'm pretty sure I've already investigated this, though. So by bringing... Oh, I see. Okay, it's mentioning our previous actions. How's it going, Jordan? But over there this time? So by bringing her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules. She called it her friend, didn't she? Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as of yet. I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case in her cabin. A friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think. Yo, bro. You! Where did you go? Oh, sorry, I just went to the next door cabin to invest. Why? Who gave you permission for this? Well, I mean, Seaman Hosonaga did. That new Japanese, was it? Later, I will roll him into ball and throw him in cold room. I just have to come hit the like button. Well, I appreciate that nonetheless. I sure hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account. He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at Le Carnival. That could be a very long time from now, Naruhodo-san. Yeah, like, couldn't we take him, like, somewhere in the UK when we get there? Ah, there he is. Just as bloody as he was when we left him. In fact, it looks like he might be bloodier. He does seem to have been beaten to shit. They spell the Russian word for wardrobe, indeed. It does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, as you were sleeping in it. But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelt out my name, don't you think? Not like he doesn't know my name. Well, either way, one fact remains. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words, or word, in Russian. Which begs the question of, who did write it? This is where Cosmo spent his final moments writing his diary. 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone. Kazuma-sama left us a valuable clue in these words, I'm sure of it. Got 20 till dentist appointment? What are you getting done? Just a cleaning? Or something worse, have you not been taking care of your teeth there, Ken? We have to solve this mystery, Naruhodo-san. We will. Yo! Damn, bro has gotten beat to shit. Holy. Your glasses, sir. You have one working glass. Ah, you're back. Inspector! What happened to you? Your face is... Please, don't worry about it. They're just scratches. Made by a bear, maybe? When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then toss me over. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me over. At least his mouth isn't bleeding yet. It looks like it's, like, on the verge. Just to check upward. Looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin. Yes, so I understand. Oh! I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. Don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes, then? We can tell you what we found out. We get this man to a doctor. We pay his medical bills. Did he break his arm? No, I think he's just vibing that way. Yes, let's do it. Yeah, nobody with a broken arm moves like that. What? Nikolina Pavlova. She's in the cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Perishes. Oh, well, it was short-lived. Permanent butler arm. Yeah, he's got butler arm. That's what we can call it. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case, at least. Oh? How? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. Is that where we're stopping, Hong Kong? So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what? Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. New information! What is the new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Burya's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain a report. Oh. Kazuma's post-mortem report? Kazuma-sama. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebra is what's written in the report. Damn. Wait. Yeah. Broke his neck? What the fuck? Yes, it would seem so. Would it be crazy if the ship just hit hit like a wave weird and he just like fell over and broke his neck or some shit. Just like nothing else involved. Bro just slipped and fell and died. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first, I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet, but the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object. Something that wouldn't leave a mark. You think Cosmo is one susceptible to fear? I suppose you're not wrong. Oh, I see. Maybe he's like deathly afraid of snakes for no particular reason. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. Induce death? Like it's something you apply to someone? I afflict you with death. But we aren't on a plane? There only needs to be one snake on this boat. The plane was an issue because there were motherfucking snakes, plural, right? It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. Poor Cosmo. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? Ah. Susato out here like, am I the only one who doesn't trust this guy? Should I be trusting this guy? Alright. What about the great detective? He probably said some stupid stuff. Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he? Yes. He seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating. But then, he suddenly left. Suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish! Was all he said. Shoe polish? Wonder what he meant. It was when he was over there, by the piece of broken glass, do you think? Okay, so the brown streak that was kind of brick-colored, he thinks it's shoe polish. Gotcha. Ah, yes, that must be it. But how could Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is it, Susato-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? A sort of dark brownish red, then. Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him. Oh, does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed on the floor? The mark on the floor has been entered into the court record. A great deduction, surely. He doesn't make mistakes. And if he does, we get to Aura Farm with him as we fix them. That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. Allow me to die real quick. Poor Inspector. You look exhausted. Oh, no. Well, I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asogi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. Oh yeah? A heavy head. That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they did mention earlier that there was like, he was still having a headache. I feel like it would have been weird for him to have been able to sleep through a struggle like that, especially if there was some sort of blunt force involved in a struggle. Like with tables crashing and books falling over and stuff. I feel like someone would wake up, especially if they're sleeping somewhere uncomfortable like a wardrobe. So, it's a little weird for sure. It's like too much oxygen in the air or something, or not enough. We can examine this again, can we? So this ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin. Yes, that's right. And just a few minutes before he died, Cosmo saw something emerging from it. The speckled band, as he described it. If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it. But she seemed as baffled as we are. Yes. I wonder if she's telling us everything, though. I'm not sure. I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me. No, this is Patrick. Is this the Krusty Krab? Alternatively, my name's not Rick. All the books provided for passengers occupying this cabin neatly arranged on the shelf. They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember. Oh, yes. And you tidied them up, didn't you? You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins leads to damage. But it really wasn't me who knocked them over. Well, anyway, I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy. Wife goals? Real talk though, like, I have standards when it comes to how cleanly the house is, and I realize now, like, my mother has very high standards, right? And growing up, I had very high standards for how clean the house had to be. My standards are, like, a step or two below that, and I'm realizing now that I'm one of the neater people that I know. Well, okay, collectively, wife goals. Was it Cowboy Bebop? I love a woman who could kill me? Is that what that's from? Congrats on the minor OCD. Yippee! Yeah, I do. I really do. I like muscles. Yeah. Just like in general, on yourself and the other person. Looks like whatever it was has broken clean in two. Yeah, the strange color for glass. I remember that. But the other half is nowhere to be seen. And then there's the brick-colored mark. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Which is shoe polish, according to the great detective that you see. That great detective you seem to know all about. I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes. Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure that it's shoe polish and not something else? Because he's a great detective, of course. I mean, he was crawling around on the ground, he probably sniffed the shit. It's not like shoe polish doesn't have a strong smell. I don't have muscles, unfortunately. You need someone else to balance out the average of the muscles in the partnership. That's hardly a reason, is it? Might have even tasted it. That just wouldn't put it past him. Hardly a reason, is it? Okay, I feel like we've gotten everything in here now. Everything that was worth observing once has been observed a second time at this point. Yeah, the lack of further struggle is definitely interesting. Alright, if we move back out here, there's probably going to be a dude in the hallway. Oh? Oh, look, Naruto-san. Seaman Stroganoff is gone. Strong enough? The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us. All these Russian names are impossible to remember. That's a you problem, Ryunosuke. Tra-la-la-la. Oh, she was probably singing in there, eh? Did you hear that? Sounded like someone singing. Yep, she do be singing. Oh, nope, that's the detective. Chemistry is up there on the don't lick it sciences, though. Yes, it is. Oh, what was that? Arsenic? Oh, well. Good knowing ya. Taste has to be one of the worst forms of measure in the scientific field. Geology. Yeah, I was actually about to say geology is the one field where they're like every now and then you're like, what are you doing? It's a rock. It's millions of years old. If it wanted to kill me, it would have already. If anything's gonna kill me, it's whatever's living on the rock. This caroling. I know that lark-like voice. Well, never mind that now. This is golden opportunity for us. Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate. Before that stringy knot crewman comes back. Jesus. It's Stroganoff, not stringy knot. Tastes of rock. Like people, yeah. People are living on the rock. Little EB people. I can say marble has a particular taste. Do you go around licking your countertops? Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Susato-san. Oh, where's she gone? Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things. There's not a moment to waste, Naruto-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. I like how she threw me for trying to read my friend's diary and the moments leading up to his death. But it takes her, like, literally nanoseconds to be reading this girl's diary, and she's, like, a 15-year-old girl. I feel I have rough taste because poor smell. I can see that. Like, I also have a permanently clogged nose. Hey man, there's a reasons marble is used for ice cream countertops. Because it looks cool? No, I get what you're saying. Why not just make the table out of salt? Thoughts? I suppose you're right, for Cosmo's sake. Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean? I mean, for your own sake, right, Ryunosuke? It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Really? We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves, if we have to. Yes, we will. I mean, some people have done that, it's just expensive. Valid. Alright, we have to look at the entire room. There's one of these next to the bed in Cosmo's cabin, too. Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist. She barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug, too. That's what she said. No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come. We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. So this ventilator connects to Cosmo's cabin next door. Good timing for ads, Susato. Yes, although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room. Ah, maybe. It's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm. Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning. That is a possibility. Anyway, last night Cosmo wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. What? Does the ventilator have to only connect the two rooms? Can't it also, like, go up? Naruhodo-san, are you there? Here, let me go, while the ads are finishing, let me go reheat this real quick, so that people don't lose out on too much. I'll be right back! Yes, warm honey water. Much better than not warm honey water. Sorry? I'm right here, yes. Why? Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home. What the fuck? What did I do to deserve that roast, Susato? What? Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know. Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes. I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. Yep. The rules. I know, the rules of passage. Sorry, I just need to put the little check mark next to each one. I suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I mean. I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. Welcome back from ads, everyone. Hi. It's probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine. I wish I could just not run ads, honestly. I realize I probably wouldn't get as many subs, but... Nah, what are you gonna do? I'd rather just grow. It beats pre-rolls, though. At least there's that, right? I just hope Seaman Stroganov doesn't find it and throw it overboard. Oh, yes. So do I. All the books have toppled over together. Look. Every single one. Do you think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though. It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase? don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company? Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage? Not everything bad that happens on this ship is because of me, you know. Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here, too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Doesn't that kind of give away that we were in here? But okay, do your thing. There's a plate of something on the ground. Okay. Gotcha. It would seem this teapot is empty. So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are a very thirsty people. Or, because Miss Pavlova only came into this cabin last night, she hadn't had the chance to make any tea yet? I mean, it could be either. It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it. You're rather obstinate, aren't you? Naruhodo-san. I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor. Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately. Ah, do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? No? What? A leak? Is this ship quite safe? I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink. No, you're right. Of course you're right. She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? Okay, that's obviously for the pet. Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open. It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there. Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret. Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now? In the trash can? I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket. Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away? Naruhodo-san. It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know. Didn't you just dive headfirst into her journal? Ugh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Exactly, we have no choice. And we get jumped by a snake. There's hardly anything in here at all. But not nothing? Oh, well, that's a little disappointing. Okay, well, to the desk. She took her tiara with her, I see. There are just a few books on the desk, nothing else by the looks of it. Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all. That's true. Wonder what kind of books she likes to read. Why? Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading books written in Russian. Thanks. I think I probably already knew that. It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that. Is it really asking too much of someone to ask what genre of book they like to read? Ay. He calls me the rude one. Alright, peek the door. This cabin door has the same simple sort of bolted latch that our cabin door has. If the bolt's drawn across, there's no way anybody could enter the cabin from outside. Yes, it's not particularly heavy-duty bolt, is it? But still, it would slide across of it. It wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it? Oh, sorry. Mixed up my people. But still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it? No, and the door is made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt it from the outside. And it seals up perfectly, too, to stop any seawater coming in. So you couldn't use the method you told me of passing a thread through a crack around the closed door, either. I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors. I'm starting to see why they suspect me. Okay. That should be everything in here, yes? Methinks. Get back out of there. Oh, nothing to see here? Anyone over? Aha! Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look. Wow, you never know where he's gonna turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself. Excuse me, dweeb. I'm not singing that. He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us? Or he's simply in extremely high spirits? Yes, there were times, I sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. Holmes wasn't really much of a singer, was he? And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky Herlock was about. Good lord. Excuse me. I solved it all and I stood tall. I did it the great detective way. Are you singing Sinatra there? Wait, isn't that outside the time period? What is it? Acronistic? Acronistic? Mr. Sholmes! Ah! What is it? You want to fight? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now is as good a time as any. I very nearly dropped you on the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Alright, I get the picture. Now could you put those fists away? He was gonna discombobulate us. Discombobulate. In summary, discombobulate. Rose absolutely squared up. Mr. Sholmes, you seemed to be examining something before we interrupted you. Yeah, certainly not the Robert Downey Jr. Holmes. Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in the study of the ship's log, as penned by the stockily built crewman, who's usually on guard here. Oh, yes, the ship's log. And did you find out anything useful from it? They said that it was very neat handwriting, correct? So that seaman has very neat handwriting. Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... But that's after he died. Ha 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 ha! You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Ha ha ha! Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem that the same crewman oft stands sentry in the first-class passageway, and he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. So blank doesn't mean nothing to report, it means he's not there. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes. Nothing to report? Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. Do you mean? Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post. What kind of circumstances? What happened? That remains a mystery for now. But we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details I would stake my life on. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. The ship's log has been entered into the court record. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes Sholmes? Brilliance. He's too good at his job to miss details. Yeah, he's very good at noticing details and then coming to shitty conclusions about them. That's what I've realized. Oh. Oh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. Oh, so we're all getting fucked up by this lack of oxygen. What else could it be besides a gas leak? Has something been fucky with the ventilation? How does the air normally circulate? Like in a cabin that is entirely locked by airlocked doors. How does air circulate? It must be through some vents somewhere or another, right? So maybe there's something faulty going on there. Well, my friends, until our next encounter. He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as I can hear it as he wanders off down the passage. Maybe a sudden stop and literally everyone hit their heads, but unlikely. That would be crazy. People sleeping in bed just wham! But the beds are facing opposite ways. So, like, it had to be a hard enough stop that everyone facing the other way, like, got flipped over in bed and slammed their heads. Curse him giving proper reports every 30 minutes so that his absence can't be explained away. Curse you and your meticulousness. Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought. It's just... well, I feel the same. Sorry? Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. And she lives in different cabins. So this must be a ship-wide thing. She lives in entirely different cabins. A sort of continuous throbbing. Oh, you too. I doubt there's much else to examine here. Perhaps I should return to my room at this point. Anything else going on in here? Talk to you. We've done this. We've done a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. A little bit here, a little bit there. And we've talked to you, and there's nothing to see there. We did this already. And that's everything. And there is no present, and there is no converse, so move. Pavlova's cabin. Maybe she's back. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling! Ah, what's that? That sounds like the alarm. How was my impression? Did you check the vent from Tree Dancers, from the Dancers room? Yes. Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter-mile 4. Ooh, we under attack? Holy shit. Full stop, hard to starboard. All hands brace for impact. Oh, this might not be the first time. I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? I can't stand. We're falling. Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all? I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san. Looks like we avoided a collision. I think. Yes, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruto-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in there, Naruto-san? Unbolt the door, quickly. What? The bolt? Ooh. Oh ho ho. I see. The door locked. But that means that the door could have locked itself. Because the ship tilted. Maybe. Or maybe there's an auto lock feature, but I'm gonna guess it's just like the ship tilted and the bolt went. Did you do that, Suzuto-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. Yeah, with all the books tilted over that way. They're just like they were before again. Naruto-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? I mean, yeah. I'd better tidy this place up first. Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery, at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. To be continued. But we're only an hour and a half into stream, so there's no fucking way we're stopping right now. Keep it going! Yes. Saves the progress. You! What are you doing in Ms. Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes. It appears to have been a false report, though. Oh. How did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. There's a dense fog, you say? Okay. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are really running everywhere. This first class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah, you wicked intruder dressed in all black. You are the devil. Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector! Yes? Arrest this man. I know he did it. Wait, how do you know he's an inspector? Isn't he undercover? Isn't he just a crewman to everyone else on the ship besides us? How do you know? He is a criminal. Is it not enough that he has killed a man? Da, and he is stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Ugh. Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right, you are devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. Well, we can't converse, which means we're gonna have to just... Oh, we gotta re-inspect the entire damn room? I guess we'll start with Pavlova. Miss Pavlova, can I... Get out. Listen, I'm sorry that we snuck in here without your permission, but get out now. We just needed to investigate in here to help understand... I don't know what she said, but I'm sure it wasn't good. I need to find someone who will listen. Please, just give me a little more time. I do nothing for you. Except show you way to ship's prison cell. Ugh. Thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent. I didn't kill anyone. And trespassing and stowing away? Well, you know... Sometimes life can lead you down some unusual avenues, and well... Enough! You are guilty. Ship's cell is only place fit for you. Come on, there has to be someone, some savior to rescue me from this crisis. I don't suppose Sherlock is, like, immediately to our left over here. In some comical position. Oh, what the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes? He's wearing the tiara. I've played enough of these games to kind of feel the punchline coming. I need someone, anyone. Where can I look? Like... God damn it. Naturally, I was analyzing what a waste of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then? Hey, thank you for the raid. Samian Art. Samian Art. Is that how... Am I pronouncing that right? How's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? What are you playing? What's good? What were you guys doing? And how'd you find my channel? Were you the only other person playing this game or something? We were playing some Gabriel Knight Sins of the Father's 20th Anniversary Edition. What the god? Hold on. What the fuck is that? I'm gonna go Google this. Gabriel Knight Sins of the Father's 20th Anniversary Edition. Holy. Damn, that guy's got quite the Chad jawline, doesn't he? Holy. Look at this guy's jawline. Oh, my fat ass head is in the way. Hold on. Where's my fucking... Where's my webcam? Look at that jawline. Holy. How's it going, y'all? We play detective games on Wednesdays and have done a playthrough of Great Ace Attorney recently. So no spoilers from my chat. Sounds good. That's awesome. I thought I was the only dude playing this game, because like the last 3 or 4 times I've looked, it's been no other viewers. Someone gifted it to me a couple weeks ago on stream, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll play that. I love some detective games. This is actually my first Ace Attorney game, too. I expected it to be wacky, but it's been... I mean, we just found this dude hanging from a hook. Like... Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. No, that doesn't follow, but okay, I'll let you explain. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Ah, you again. The great detective. Ah, Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, let's hear it then. You might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. Nope, I did not do that. Hold on, wait, I'm being well, I guess it's not really slander. I don't think teaching someone how to Dougie is slanderous, but I also didn't do that. You either love him or hate him, at least that seems to be our experience. I love his energy. He brings some good energy to the table. Like, fuck this guy for any sort of thing that you need to trust him. Has been solved. By me, naturally. Can't take that. You really can't take him seriously when he's looking like this, though. Variety streamer? Yes, we're very much variety streaming. We are playing... Let me go check my schedule for the week. I stream for a couple hours. Same time every day. We're doing Ace Attorney again tomorrow, and then we're doing some Slay the Spire and some Balatro. We play roguelikes. We play a gacha game every now and then. A variety. But right now, Ace Attorney. How about you? Art in the name. Does that mean art? Yep, okay, cool. Mostly art stream. Okay, hold on. I have to check you out in a second. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna write down the name so that I spell it right. Write down the name so I spell it right. I shall stop by. Okay, what did I miss? I clicked off and it advanced the text, and I didn't want that. Okay, we missed nothing. Cool. Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Here we go again. Ignore him. No. Oh. Got it. How's it going, Major Flower? You got lost in the sauce? What was the sauce in this case? I'm guessing it wasn't Worcestershire. You could draw someone doing the stanky leg. I bet, you know what? I bet Unk would actually be okay with that. I bet that would make him happy. You don't need to know. Okay. Gotcha. You wanted to tell someone, but you didn't really want to tell someone. Huh. You have solved it. Even the Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing Student Boy this morning. When we found criminal in wardrobe. It is this stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. Is that proof? I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't shoot the sheriff. Trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who is inside the cabin. Nope. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. No, locked the room. That is point. By the way, Did they, like, kick open the door? I forget how they actually unlocked it themselves. Okay, I'm doing the post-stream stuff, but I'll be lurking. Enjoy the stream, or enjoy the mystery. Thank you very much. Thank you for the lurk. And I get it, because I often do the same. I gotta go get lunch after my streams. They did. Okay, they kicked in the door. Gotcha. Thanks for the pipes. Unfortunately, I saw it coming, so I wasn't as spooked by it. The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. They do have beef. There's no way that the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. Except, yes, you just saw it happen, like, literally 2 minutes ago. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin, despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. Nope, not that ventilator. The ventilator, man. We need to add the plankton moaning meme. The haw. That meme? One day maybe you will make stanky leg emote redeem. I'm sooner going to add make me do an exercise of some kind. You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening. It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Pavlova knows what's up. That, but it's longer and much more echo. I'll try to find it for you. Okay, sounds good. Have you considered you haven't noticed it yet because you aren't a great detective? He just whips out the card at every possibility. His arms are thick with how many C's? That 2 C's seems appropriate for his arms. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Cosmo-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. We can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your core. Behold. Various screaming. A snake. I do have to say, that snake doesn't look particularly white. Unless it was covered in flour for some reason. Or added it in memes channel. Okay, thank you. Alright, so now I'm getting... chalk? But no. What could have been in the vent that would have turned this snake white? Because it was a white speckled band, right? Face powder? Maybe. I guess it's a speckled band, but it doesn't say white speckled band. Yeah, it's just a speckled band. Okay. It could just be the snake. Just a speckled band, yeah. I wanted to go confirm, make sure. Allow me to introduce you all to the band. The Speckled Band. A snake? Indubitably. Les Chocs. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Okay, so I have a similar issue still. Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it the striped band, wouldn't you? Heh. You both see and observe, with distinction, however. Do you not think that it is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explained the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlik? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Pixie snake. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one. Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Oh. And number two. That same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Was she not already? Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. I don't know about all that. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asogi. Stroganoff wants to say something, but is being choked out at the current moment. Looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Alright, time to get super aura farmy with it. I am so ready. Topic 1. Intruder's Identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. What? Your aching head? And is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death? So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. Is there, like, another snake? Did the big snake eat the smaller snake? I think that guy has a snake on his head. You should tell him. What explanation can we give then? Give pray. What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary, even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's slowed skin. Nope. Nope, that doesn't seem right. Sir, I don't know if you know this, but I think there might be a huge-ass snake on your head. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. No. I don't know what you're talking about. Last night, through the ventilator, visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. I do like that particular deduction. In the dim light, it appeared the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled bandit. The explanation is perfect, too perfect for simple minds to understand. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it slows its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Okay. A beloved speckled snake. Okay. I'm following. You're making perfect sense so far, buddy. How Mr. Asogi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear that there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Wouldn't that leave marks, buddy? Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm at the scene of the crime. That part is likely true. They got clapped? Who's they? Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove that the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrified friend. This makes no sense. There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? That part is likely true. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't... It is telling that the victim made note of how a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. Why'd you drop pipes on me, eh? That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. To train? Indeed. You'd put the serpent through this ventilator, and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny this snake has undergone such training? It's not true. The pipe noise is not fun, it drowns out your VAing. Then why'd you drop it? Here, I'll give it back to you. There you go. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. something on my screen there, and its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. Just set it on a table or something. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. The snake vented. Snake sus. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Everybody's like, huh? Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible. You've solved the mystery. Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. It's not just a Russian phrase. That's kinda, yeah, no. Clearly this is not what we need. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? But of course, what's on your mind? It's just about your deductions before. Snakes don't drink milk? Some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method, and I will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well. Good. First of all, he's not going to answer loudly or proudly, is he? Snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madam. And reptiles, don't drink milk. What'd I say, right? Really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling. But madam, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh. I see. No hands, no feet, no ears? These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. There is one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder. Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. Haven't you heard of DJ Snake? Snakes must have ears. Head ass. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had any part of this. Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean... Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? Nani? You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not. I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Part 2. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. I like the idea of an entirely fallible detective. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. Pause. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. It looks as though Kazuma-san's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look closely at Miss Pavlova. I mean, she's holding her hand. Her right ear? What? She does seem to be missing an earring, I will say. Oh, there's scratch marks on her, too. She has a cat, man. There's a cat and a snake doing something going on there. There's a fucking cat in the image in the background. In case you needed a second hint. Yes! Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, oh, sorry, that's me. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? Huh. When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? That's much more reasonable than a cat could be hanging out in the vent and its tail is dangling off the side. And that's the speckled band or something like that. Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. Pause. Also, snooze those ads. Couple times, actually. Hit me with a couple of those ad snoozes. Was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except... snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer. I mean, we know the answer. Yes! You were looking over at this framed photographic print, weren't you, Miss Pavlova? But let's not be distracted by the print itself. Oh no. It's the frame that is your friend, isn't it? Because it so beautifully displays whatever you put inside it. What the fuck are you talking about? What's spectacular? What do you mean? I clearly clicked on the fucking cat. Are we serious? Is that supposed to be a wrong answer? The cat in the fucking picture frame. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, let's try again. Did I have to click very, very specifically on that frame? Or, like, I couldn't turn the camera all the way around. Yeah, she's looking away, but I can't actually turn the camera that far. Like how do you expect me to actually check where she was looking in the opposite direction? Here, let's just take a look at it real quick. Ah, look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true. But personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we'd better take a closer look at this. Really? You just needed me to zoom in? Fuck off, man. You should have just given that to me. I can see it zoomed out. Ay, ay, ay. Without a doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Ah. Darka is my best friend. Perhaps the snake ate it? I was considering that possibility. I don't know. I feel like the cat would have gotten away from the snake. Snakes can't really eat cats easily because they have faster reaction times, and especially if the cat just hopped up into the ventilator and just, like, went to the next room over, the snake couldn't follow it in the first place. Maybe it's possible something tragic happened to the cat, but it's probably just, like, running around somewhere, right? Narka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known. Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Sholmes' specialty. He ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty, or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too. Anyway. I'm not actually a good detective, I'm just really good at making people think I'm a good detective. I find it hard to believe that that's the skin of a snake. In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? I mean, that's clearly not a snake's slowed skin. What is it, then? Well, it is speckled, and it is a band, but it's a cat toy. That's a cat toy. It seems to be soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort. And that looks like a handle at one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently. How's that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it. Haha, that sounds positively adorable. It is, can confirm.
Yes!
Doink. Yes, the thing that you are trying but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely! And the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. Ah. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can be only one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator and into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Daka. Yeah. Yeah! Sorry, that sounded more like what that line looked like. A truly troublesome feline, young Daka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. Gotta get a stretch in here. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. The photograph of Miss Pavlova and Darka has been entered into the court record. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up to the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty. This bad girl, bad kitty cat. Death by a venomous snake's bite? Something tells me that's gonna not hold up very long. Moving on. We've come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Nope, we already know the answer is wrong there. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma-sama's body. That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now. Post-mortem report.
Yes!
Well, there is still a snake, yes. We've kind of been ignoring the snake. The snake's like, what's man gotta do to get some recognition around here? In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah, yes. I knew it was one or the other. His neck was... Indeed. The breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Demon Stroganov isn't some immortal freak, you know. He does seem to be immortal, though. Hey, thank you for the follow. Oh, wait, no, that's a resub. Hey, Hana, what are you doing here? I haven't seen you in ages. I'm robbing you? What do you mean? Thank you for the sub. How's it going? Haven't seen you in a bit. You keep taking my money. How do I keep doing that? Oh no. My bad. I can give it back and then you can give it to me again and then we could just do that all. Refund the sub. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Yeah, you knew I was gone for 2 whole months, right? I thought I told you. Nope. I was not informed of that. I know you left town a while ago and came back. But I didn't know you were gone, like, somewhere else again. No, I didn't know that. Now, if we take that as fact... How you doing? How was whatever you were doing? We can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. No. Cosmo died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something. Ooh, we hit our sub-goal too. Hey, thanks for cleaning that up too. Nice. That's huge. I've been meaning to put some little bars up here with like recent sub and like number of, like a little bar, you know, like a little tracker thing going on. Hey, Catboy as well. Thank you for the resub with the Prime. For a year too. Holy. I gotta get a couple of badges out there for the year. I'm good, I'm good. I had a guy grab my hand as I was getting out of his car and asked me to date him, and I responded with, I have to fart! Wait, what the? Dude, that's actually like a sick... That's like a deflection. That's an ultimate deflection right there. I have to fart. Gotta go. Holy shit. Oh, man. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. I obviously said no. Really, yeah, that's... You were turning him down, yeah. I kind of got that. If I said that, that's crass, but... I just got here, I expected Mambo. Why do I see a dead guy? Well, it is a murder mystery. This is the murder. We're trying to figure out the mystery half. God, I love these games. They're very fun. This is my first Ace Attorney. If you're talking about murder mysteries in general, yes. If we're talking about Ace Attorney, this is my first foray. Was probably struck by someone or something. Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though. Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow, because Darka's a cat. I suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh, yes. A bad fall could explain it. Weren't we talking about that earlier? It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Yeah, he's kinda straight-laced, isn't he? Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? The shoe polish? He slipped? Most likely? Would be my guess.
Yes!
Oh, I need to sneeze. I need to sneeze, but I don't want to sneeze. But I need to sneeze, but I don't want to sneeze. But that's making me want to sneeze, and now I'm gonna sneeze. Probably. Here we go. I sneezed. Whew! Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish. I died. Indeed. It's now a double murder mystery. Shoe polish. Indeed. Positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Your nose? Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. Oh, he's actually got, like, a device, like an actual device. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's lace leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Please, no. And, by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant he lost his life. That doesn't really make sense either, though. He had time to write out a word on the floor in ink. So I don't know if I buy that. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life? Yes, the facts are clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? He fell really slowly. He had enough time as he was falling to grab the ink off the desk. No, and like write it on the floor as he's falling. No, and then he fell. I got it. Yeah. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened. And if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. What has she been trying to hide? We didn't really look in the trash bin too closely, did we? This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first-class cabins have them. But Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet. Yet? Oh, what's that? Bro, how did you not notice this the first time I looked in here? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you. Concur?
Yes!
Oh, I am doing this 3 days straight. Yeah. That's why we got the honey water. We don't want ourselves losing our voice, right? Delicious. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Ah. Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Are you taking a 3-day weekend? Sheesh. Maybe I'll just lurk the next 2 days and do actual work? Actual work? You probably should do actual work. I didn't realize I was stopping you from that. Yes, I did. I definitely knew that. Gonna go visit friends in Missouri. Oh, that sounds fun. Maybe not the Missouri part. I don't know really what's in Missouri, but the visiting friends part sounds fun. It's definitely you stopping me, yeah. My fault. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no. So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Isn't that big archway in Missouri? Maybe? I don't know. It's St. Louis, so I'm sure there's... Okay, yeah, if you're going to St. Louis proper, then yeah, I'm sure there's shit to do. Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin? Yeah. You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not? I don't... I don't know. In that hushed Russian accent of yours. Won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question. What? Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell. That would be... faint whistling sound. Topgolf is actually fun, I will say. I enjoy Topgolf. It's very chill. So I'll eat some THX with them, get a beer, and swing clubs. Then maybe pee my pants or something? Yeah, if you feel like it, go for it. Topgolf is fun. Yeah, I just played it this past weekend, actually. Oh, you were also in St. Louis. Yo, small world. So, what actually do we have that links her to this? Russian word for wardrobe in purple ink. No. Regular golf sucks though. Yeah, because it's hot and you have to walk around. When I'm high, I can hit the back net with a 7-iron. Okay, I'm not that good at golf. Like, I can blast it into the blue every now and then. Why is RimWorld so much to learn? I want to like this game, but I don't. Because there's a lot going on in that game, right? Where is the bell mentioned in any of this? Faint whistling sound. It can't be that. The bell doesn't make a whistling sound. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell. Clearly it's your badge. Gotta be. This was my... This is your ankle on drugs? You know what makes a whistling sound? Do I want to know? Do I want to know? Nothing to report, nothing to report, nothing to report, nothing to report. Oh, there's the bell. It's the kitten's bell. Gotcha.
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from darkest color, the very glass bell in question. The truth has caught up with you. Oh, I almost went Russian there. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble? They're gonna do all this super extra stuff. Right? They're gonna do all this super extra stuff, and then she's gonna say like 3 words, and it's gonna be all for naught. She's gonna disprove all of that in like 10 seconds. Your absent feline friend, Dark. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. Death by tripping over a cat. That's a rough way to go, I'm not gonna lie to you. Deduction complete. Elementary. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. Oh, 7's for sure there. People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments. She was so fast. She disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her. And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it. Yes. And I had read the, rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darka with me. Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. Heh. There you go. You found the cat. The laughing, pointing cat. It was very quiet, I was sure. If someone was there, he must be sleeping. So at that point, you thought it safe to try to lure the kitten back again. By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin. Darka always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy, I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Cosmo wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then... Oof. I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then... Oh, it was such dreadful bang. Then, afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Kazuma was... I find it strange that he wouldn't say anything. You know what I mean? He wouldn't call out for help or something. Ryunosuke's in the wardrobe. If he had enough time to write out a message on the ground, you'd think he'd at least be able to, like, say something. You know what I mean? From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. Keep it stanky. Word. Please, video game gods, let him show up later as a ghost or some shit. Like, he's like, the ghost of him is objecting to the enemy in the back. That would be very JRPG. The SS Burya. You know what? I'm still gonna roll the dice here. I'm gonna double down on my he's not dead theory. I'm gonna roll the dice. He's not dead. We're gonna find him in a wheelchair. Lawyer's spirit. Yeah, exactly. But even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Osogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet, the combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards? In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator. Yet Darka is nowhere to be seen. I must have forgotten to lock my case. And now she's disappeared again. Gracious, that cat is as insufferably restless as I am. Well, at least he's self-aware. Exactly. Ryunosuke and I, we know what's going on. When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it, and where did it come from? What is such a dangerous creature doing on board this ship? This is just his snake? Oh, I didn't say. Snake is my friend. His name is Pirosho. What? What? That snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him here. Yes, how did that snake get into this cabin? That is actually a good question. How did that snake get into this cabin? Through the pipes, I guess? But animals are not permitted on board. Ha! We are at sea for 1 year! You want to be so long without a close friend? Without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human? Who understands you better? That explains the marks on his face now. But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No venom. Pirosho does not have venom. He is harmless. Very long, but very gentle. He is adorable, like Granny. Finding humans who understand you is hard. That's actually so real. It's venomless. Yes. Now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ha! Like they say, milk chickens? Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Hirosha eats mouses. Big fat round mouses. Ah, oh, so... is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role? It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Pirosho has nothing to do with this incident. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. No. The comic relief of this guy that's just been beat to shit, hanging out with us. Miss Pavlova. I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But what are you talking about, Miss Mikatova? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events, an accident. Lemony Snicket, is that you? I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? To be perfectly honest, yes. There is a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story. I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. I confess. I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh. I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. A distraction? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. This motherfucker. Maybe because the vents are grated? No, I feel like a cat could slink through the grates pretty easily. I think the discrepancy is that he was able to write, like, a death note. When would he have time if he just fell and broke his neck and died, right? Like, that's just, like, that's the discrepancy. Especially as they're on your wrists as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port out. You were Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours, was he not? Yes. Cosimo was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom, even. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. Well, it's good that you're at least respectable in that regard. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in your cabin came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first is the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance. But we've already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident. Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Cosmo's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. Yep, definitely that, right? These don't make sense. It's gotta be this.
Yes!
The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. That script. It's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese in this case. But maybe he was studying Russian. What? It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry? What do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There is no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant death. Ah. Somebody ran up behind him and karate chopped the back of his neck. Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything. Because he was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Asogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there, if what Miss Pavlova told us was true. What? So Susato-san has noticed it too, then. Putting this message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives the truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. In other words, my inclination is that... My inclination is that the piece of a small glass object on the ground, would the kitten have broken that bell there? How did that happen? Like if that bell broke, wouldn't both pieces be here? I'm just a little confused as to what the series of events with this bell were, such that it broke, but, like, stayed intact enough that the kitten with half of a bell could make it back, and then Pavlova threw it away, just, like, in the rubbish bin. Very suspicious. The paper seal doesn't make sense. The diary doesn't really make sense. We've already made good use of that. Neither of these things makes a lot of sense. I'm more inclined to go mark on the floor here. Yes. This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But that's the glass bell the kitten had around its neck. We already know all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there is a very big flaw, a fatal flaw. What? If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back here in this cabin? Ah! Yes. Remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in that waste paper basket. Blah, 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 blah. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Ah. Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asogi's... Jesus. That guy's got a deep voice. Someone else was there? Duh, of course, we know this. What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out. Oh, yes. And the only other person in cabin when young student died was you.
Yes!
It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian, there's no way I would have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. Only other person inside the cabin was you? Yes. Well, guess I'm guilty then. And then, the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor for fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asogi really died. Well then why'd you leave the other half? Yeah, but why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. Okay, that's fair. A single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light onto the floor. Little wonder, then, that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of a tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? Oh, you took care of the snake. Seaman Stroganoff. Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join the ballet company. But before, she was dancer on this ship, a member of ship's band. At 13? Jesus. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. That's actually very suspicious. That's incredibly suspicious. She would know a lot about how the ship works and such. Oh, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin. But that is not possible. I give my tooth. Well, this is all most interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? You are a great detective. You should know. Oops. Missed my mouth with water. Hee hee. Happens to the best of us. Damn, makes it look like I makes it look like I spilled like 30 ounces of water on my shirt here. Look at that. It was like one drop. At least it's water. Look truth in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? Yeah, it's impossible. Ugh, he's right. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches, so they can open and close them from the outside. We already talked about how this isn't possible. Why are you just, like, making shit up right now? Thread? Are you stupid? Those bulkheads are not barn doors. Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel, with not a gap in sight. No threads, or needles, or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so... Susato-san, how could you shift it onto me like that? You can walk through locked doors if you walk fast enough? That's true. Yes, I come to understand that as long as the atoms don't touch each other, you can kind of phase through things. If you run really fast at a door and then just disable the strong atomic force for a moment, and then as soon as you get through to the other side, you turn it back on again, it's easy. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily. What? I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind having been used before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes. Do you really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, and so should you. Because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Point out the telling signs of the method that was... Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, that actually is him talking. Pointing out the telling signs of the method that was used to slide the cabin door bolt across from the outside. Point out the signs of it having happened. Well, I was going to do this. I do think it is still this.
Yes!
Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel, after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe... Yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects. Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book, at least? Yeah, she's got quite the thick encyclopedia there. Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. Ah! It was very obvious just after the emergency stop the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before, and we hadn't bolted the door. But then... it was like, whoa! Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Well, that sounds like... yes, I remember this bit. This did happen, like, 45 minutes ago. Oh yes, that's it! When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of ineptia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asogi was killed, there was a shifting? I do remember the books being knocked over in the morning. The SS Brudia made another emergency stop? When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Oh my! Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Are you out of your mind? You say Brudia made emergency stop? It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room? Oh, it is simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm. Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there? Telling you to only press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights, when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Are you suggesting that you pressed that button earlier, Sholmes? Wait! It was you? When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interests of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings, and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed, it did a little earlier today. Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed. To be pressed. Whatever the occasion. He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now. Now, I'm sure that that can all wait until later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did this ship make an emergency stop, or did it not? You're idiots. Brudia is a huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop even in the middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence? The fact that the crewmate stopped noting in his notebook right around 2 a.m.
Yes!
He had to get up for some reason. Seaman Stroganoff. It's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship, isn't that right? No, that is correct. Why? In the ship's log here. This would be where you record the details of your duties. What are you doing with that? That is mine. Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. That is where I always put it. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase "nothing to report" every 30 minutes. Guess who's back? Back again? Shady's back? Tell a friend? Guess who's back? 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 Na 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 na. I finished math and played some Minecraft. Huge! But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. How's it going, sir? What's good? How you doing? Nothing recorded in the log. That is... Stop, because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you would normally write "nothing to report," wouldn't you? Yep. As a man who has been caught. Indeed, sir. Which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened here aboard the SS Burya. Doing good other than a Grand Live door fatigue? Stop dooring so much stuff then. Just play the run. I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. Grand Live. We're talking Uma. Grand Live door fatigue is code for gluing too many runs because they did bad early. And getting sick of gluing so many runs. I'm probably gonna half-ass this CM, I'm not gonna lie. I might half-ass this CM in favor of getting my team trials scores up and, like, just getting a good parent loop going. But it just avalanches and is so bad. Maybe I've just never had a good run, but it doesn't really feel too avalanchy to me. I don't know. It feels like, maybe because I play so risk-averse. I've noticed that I play a very risk-averse game. Where I'll often try to get, like, one friendship up, and then, like, I generally don't go for percent failure trainings. I mean, we fucking saw on Monday. First time I click on anything that isn't 0% failure, it fails. All or nothing, go crazy, win more, or lose more. Also an option. That's often the case. As long as I get 4+1 songs going out of year 1, I'm good. I'll usually play a run too. At least if there are enough things going wrong, I'll glue the run. I'm like, okay, that's not salvageable. But usually if I'm like, if I get a good inspiration, or if I get good first year songs, or if I'm like hitting good energy breakpoints, like people are going to wit well and I don't really need to rest at all, I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes, you know. You get the charming early. Any of those things happen, and I'm like, alright, we'll see how this goes. I'm wildly reckless in comparison. 4+1, yeah, 4+1's generally my minimum. If I'm not getting at least basically 5 songs, it's like, alright, gone. But I feel like I get that, like, 90% of runs. Charming Senior November is just trolling. Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish! Also, I am going to be ending stream here pretty soon. We're over 3 hours. I'm just waiting until we get to a good stopping point. I feel like we're getting to one pretty soon here. If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh? Why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, Surely all of us would have noticed.
That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night.
So, you know what I think? I think that there was an emergency stop. I think that it wasn't something that Stroganov noticed. I think there is some sort of gas leak going on that is giving everyone headaches. I find it hard to believe that we wouldn't have woken up in the middle of the night sitting in a cupboard 3 feet from a man who fell on the floor and broke his neck. Probably was calling out in one way or another. I also don't believe that Stroganov would lie about there having been an emergency stop. I think people fell asleep. I think that for some reason there's like a gas leak or something. People have been talking about headaches this whole time. I think that for some reason he didn't write nothing to report because he fell asleep on duty and doesn't want to say that. You solved an accounting problem? Huge. That's why they pay you the big bucks. What's of the throbbing? I don't know why I didn't just click forward one more time. That's like literally what he's about to say. Sorry? What do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered.
Oh.
Oh, yes, I have had a headache. You're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today.
Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn.
Do you know what the answer was? Add different things? You know, that does make sense. That's often how money works. They don't often multiply it. Wait, pause? Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today, too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. Wasn't Kazuma always kind of an early riser as well? I thought he got up early to do exercises with, what's her name? And why would he have been up at 2 a.m. writing in his journal? I don't know. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe and had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up at all when... Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Nadaho. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Oh, well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to oh, did they drug their food? That's possible. They could have drugged their food. He was always happy to share his meals, and Kazuma didn't eat that night either, because he didn't like the food that was being served. So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I think. Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant? My dear fellow, does that not strike you?
Oh. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken?
I do. No. Really? Is that true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with by the addiction of a soporific. I don't even know what that is. Of a soporific.
designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. I can use context clues to figure out what it means, but I didn't know that worked. A sleeping drug. Yes. Thank you. Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice this ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. No, that's exactly what I mean. Precisely. You had it closer the first time? You don't know every word in the English language? I expect more from my streamers. Oh boy. You shouldn't go too far on Twitch, buddy. You're gonna be disappointed. Don't stray too far. Stay in the bubble over here. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific. You know what? I'm gonna go Google it. Pronunciation. Soporific, maybe? Soporific. Okay, soporific. Soporific. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? Mr. Sholmes? That sounds like maybe a little far-fetched. Well, Seaman. Eh? I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. Were they trying to knock him out so they wouldn't notice her, or what? If you refuse to talk, there will have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade. It is a Russian ship, isn't it? We had kind of thought that there might be a Russian revolutionary on board, eh? Anything but eye contact right now. Please, no more. I will tell everything. Eh? I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. He must have seen the guy then. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. That would also explain why she wasn't passed out last night. She knew better than to eat it. Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help. Everyone together. She threw away everything. Her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Da. We could not make all drug, how you say, dissolve? Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning. Bum. At the midnight in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrades on shore with small fishing boat. I see, so that's why you made the stop. Or a stop, at least. This was before the stop. While all passengers of the SS Buria slept soundly. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion, their evening meals had contained. Ooh. Jesus. Oh, man. Whew. So if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Cosmo's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos. Everyone was sleeping. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Oh, of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins, after which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyways, and so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. Gasp, gasp, gasp. You have talked a long time and said many things. What is point? The point is, what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But I don't know any about I don't know about any of this. I'm just a little girl. You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. Aren't sailors known for their fake-ass stories? I mean, not to rain on your parade here or anything, but like, not like one of the things sailors do is tell tall tales. A laudable trait. What? I am quite of this. I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation is everything to me. You mean real stories that they saw with their eyes? Yeah, for sure. Mr. Navajo. Oh, yes. Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind. What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes. For observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. Nah, we're leaving that for next time. We're gonna leave that one for next time. Get cliffhangered, idiot. We're well over time anyways. Let's find someone else to raid into. I want my sub back. We're playing it again tomorrow. It's not even that much of a cliffhanger. It'll just be tomorrow. Realistically, I wanted to raid out before the next ad break started as well. That's genuinely part of it. Slash raid. Who are we raiding? Simpy? Let's raid Simply. We got quite a few people in here today. She's playing League of Legends. Hopefully you don't hate League of Legends too much. Be nice. I appreciate everyone who stopped by today. We will be playing some more tomorrow. Get conclusion. And I will see you guys for that. And then this weekend we've got some stuff going on as well. Peek and Slay the Spire and Balatro, some classics. I will see you guys around. Peace out.